Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Asa Mahalla Panjwa, composition of Guru Arjan and the Rag Asa. And the recitation first. Udam Karat Hovai man Nirmal nacha, aap nivare panch jana le vasgat rakhe man meh ekankare. Tera jan nirt kare gun gaave, रबाब पखावज ताल घुंघरू अनहद शब्द बजावे रहाओ प्रथमे मन पर बोधै अपना पाछे अवर रिझावे राम नाम जप हृदय जापै मुक्ते सगल सुनावे कर संग साधु चरण पखारे संत धूर तन लावे मन तन अर्प धरे गुर आगै सत पदारथ पावे जो जो सुने पेखे लाए सरदा ताका जन्म मरण दुख भागै ऐसी निरत नरक निवारै नानक गुरमुख जागै. So the Guru here is using the analogy of dance and music as a means of transcendence. Using that analogy, he says, Tera jan nirat kare gun gave. This servant devotee, referring to the author, Guru Arjan, Tera jan nirat kare, dances, gun gave, dances to the song of your qualities, adorns, in other words, adorns himself with your qualities. Rabab, Pakhavaj, Tal, Kunguru. Now these are all musical instruments, string instruments. One is a percussion instrument. Kunguru are the anklets that are worn by dancers. He's making a point here. He says, this servant devotee dances to the song of your qualities, while the orchestra of the inner instruments play the unstuck melody of divine music. So while he's listing out musical instruments, they really symbolize inner faculties. And he's stressing the need to sublimate what is an outer dance of the body into the inner dance of the mind, the unstruck melody. So that is what Tirajan is doing. And how does one get into this dance? What is the discipline? He clarifies that. He says, Udam Karat Hovai man Nirmal nacha. Udam Karat Hovai man Nirmal nacha. The mind has to be Nirmal in order for it to dance this divine dance. Nirmal. Nirmal, it has to be cleansed of its ego. Nirmal, without dirt. And the dirt is always the ego, haume, the sense of a separate self. So Uddam Karat. And that happens only through persistent effort. Uddam. And what is the effort? Restraint of the senses, panchajana le vasgat rakhe, vasgat, and rakhe man meh ekankar, and focus on the creator self within. And then the mind will be freed from its ego, consciousness, self-conceit, and only then will it dance to the harmony of the self, natcha. So this is another way of saying to go with the flow, dance, rhythm, which is the goal of Sikhi. So two conditions have been specified here. One is restraint of the senses, and two is deep contemplation and reflection. So restraint of the senses obviously means not negation as much as moderation of the appetites, and also a non-attachment to exclusive reliance. In other words, not relying exclusively on sense perception, because the senses can be notoriously misleading. What is being said here is that you need to shift your perception a little bit. You have to expand it to awaken other faculties within, like intuitive awareness, empathy. These are qualities that are not visible to you right now, but you have to awaken them. You have to function from a whole mind, if you will. And then carrying on with the discipline, prathame man par bodhe apana, pache avar rijave. So restraint of the senses, you've got to do that. You have to contemplate on the self, meditate on the self, and then instruct your own mind first. Don't go about teaching others or persuading others. Prathame man par bodhe apana, pache avar rijave. Pache, afterwards. Ram Nam Jap Hirday Jape. So that is done by realizing the self within the heart and then speaking about it. So before you are in that position, don't be teaching others. And then while you're doing this, Kar Sang Sadhu, keep the company of the sadhu, self-realized beings. Charan Pakhare Sant, submit to the teachings of the Sant Enlightener, the Guru. And with body and mind, mantan, follow arap, the Gur, the method. And that is what will get you the true wealth of self-knowledge, Sat Padarth Pave. So you see, you have discipline, you have contemplation, you have following the instructions of the Guru, following the method. And so he concludes by saying that Jojo sune pekhe laye sarda. Jojo, that anyone who listens and beholds the teachings faithfully, Jojo sune pekhe laye sarda, faith, will find release from the anxiety of fear of birthing and dying. Taka janam maran dukh pagge. And says Nanak in conclusion, those guided by Gur wisdom are awake. Nanak Gurmukh jagge. And the dance of their life steers them away from egoic hell. Aisi nirt narak nivari. So you see, there is a rhythm in the universe, hukam, if you will, that we have to dance in tune with. And that requires cultivation of virtue. It requires contemplation, reflection on Bani. It requires guidance of the Guru. And it requires faith. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.